What is up, guys? Carter Bajanko here from the Tackle Box, and today, as you guys can see behind me, all my rods are missing. That is because I am all packed, ready to go for the IHSA State Championship down on Carlisle Lake. And you know, it's a very, very tough fishery down there. Lots of rock, not a lot of fish though. And a big key is finesse fishing down there. You know, spinning rod with a Nico rig, Ned rig, stuff like that. What I wanted to talk about was one of the terminal tackle items that I love to use. 2 years ago when I went there, I did not know about this, or I don't even think it was released yet. I think they released this 2 years ago. You know, I believe it was that summer, and it's been a great tool for me ever since it's been released. It's the Owner Blockhead. So gonna take this out of the package right here and show you guys. Pretty big fan of Owner products. You know, they make some pretty good little like nifty stuff. I love using their shaky head, you know, like their flashy swimmer. Just a bunch of terminal tackle items that a lot of other companies don't make, or they don't make well. You know, lots of quality products from Owner hooks. So not sponsored by them or anything, but you know, that's just my opinion. So got one out of the package here. This is the 1/8 size. They come in 1/8, 3/16, and I believe it's 1/16 ounce. So it gets pretty light, and those are perfect. You know, for sizes that 3/16 will get you down fishing anywhere down to probably 20 feet. You know, if you're fishing a Ned rig on this, it's gonna fall really fast, so you don't need like a super heavy weight. You know, to get a very aerodynamic profile, so it'll come through the water pretty easy. And that 16th and that 1/8 ounce is perfect for fishing that shallow rock, like what I'm gonna be doing down here on Carlisle this weekend. It's a pretty basic head, as you guys can see. Just got an EWG hook and then, you know, the jig head at the top. A lot of you guys probably are using that Z-Man Ned rig head, and that's what I used for a long time. You know, they make that really cheap one with that lighter wire hook, and that's great. But what I found with that, it's pretty tough. You know, when you're fishing around rocks and getting snagged a lot, those hooks on there will roll over a lot. So the first head that I used was that light wire head that pretty much everyone throws, made by Z-Man. And I found, you know, it bends out pretty easily. The hook point rolls over really easy. So I moved up to this heavier wire one that Z-Man makes, which is a really good hook. It's the Z-Man Pro Shrooms. So it's a heavier wire hook, and it's got a pretty decent keeper. Wasn't a fan of the keeper, you know, that they put on that light wire one. And it's also great for other ones like Robo Worm. This Ned Dizzy that I got here works great on this head. I found these EWG style heads, and there was never really a good company that made them. I believe Flatlands Tackle made one, but the hook was just too light for me. So then they released this Owner Blockhead, and it has been a perfect hook. Fits those 2 3/4, 3-inch baits perfect. Right here, I'll rig this Z-Man one to show you guys. So that's what it looks like right there with the Z-Man one. Perfect for crawling through rocks. I love using this when I creek fish for smallmouth in that really shallow water. This head is great, doesn't get snagged, and it also comes through, you know, on those little creeks and stuff, you'll have some grass mixed in with that rock. Comes through the grass, amazing as well. And then I'll show you guys here the Robo Worm. This is probably my favorite one to use on this hook, just because it's a little bit longer than what you're gonna find with the Z-Man. So right there is what that looks like with the Robo Worm. Perfect little bait. Caught some nice smallmouth up in La Crosse on this little setup right here. And then the Ned Dizzy, another great bait. I like to use the Ned Dizzy when I'm looking for a little bit more action. As you guys can see, it's got a spaded tail just like the Dizzy Diamond, which by far is my favorite shaky head bait. This little tail here is going to put off a lot more action than It's going to, with this Robo Worm or the Z-Man Ned one. So that's what it looks like right there. Again, perfect on that little head. And the setup I like to throw this on. So what's great about this hook, it's a little bit heavier gauge, like I said. I would say about the same as this head. But with these EWG hooks, in my opinion, you're going to want a little bit heavier rod, just because, with this exposed hook, you set the hook and that hook is right there and they got it. But with this one, you may have this hook buried in the plastic of the bait. That fish is gonna have to clamp down on it, and I feel like it takes a little bit more pressure for that hook to penetrate all the way through, if you're going through plastic, whereas this exposed hook, it's not covered whatsoever, and it penetrates through the fish a lot easier. And that's why I love to throw this on a bait casting setup. So what I got right here is a Dobbins Sierra 683. So I originally bought this for Lake of the Ozarks tournament. I'll link that up there for my Toyota series. It was very cold water, and I bought that for a jerkbait rod. But I've been playing around with it this spring. I got it this winter. I've played around with it a little bit, and it is a great rod to throw little stuff like this Z-Man, to throw stuff like this owner blockhead. In my opinion, spooling 10-pound line on that reel, and it casts just fine. I got it paired with an SLX. It's a very, very affordable combo compared to some of the other rods that I run, and it's a great rod to use this little bait. And fishing as a co-angler, with this bait casting setup, it's only a 6'8", so it's gonna give me a little bit more accuracy. And in my opinion, with the bait casters, if you got your brakes set right on your reel, I feel like if you're fishing as a co-angler, your boater puts you up on the bank, it's so much easier to pitch this Ned rig. Pitching it at targets. So like sometimes I'll fish this around like light cover, so like laydowns, little rock points and stuff that my boater passes up and doesn't fish. And I love just pitching this Ned rig around. It's a great finesse presentation, where most people might be throwing a jig or something a little bit bulkier and has a lot more action. This is great, subtle presentation to catch them on. And it's a perfect setup. But if you guys do like throwing it on a spinning rod, I highly recommend either a 702 Champion XP or the Champion Extreme 742 spinning. That, in my opinion, is the best one that you can throw it on. Got a little bit more length. So, pitching it and stuff like that, like what I was talking about with this shorter rod, you're not going to be able to do as well. But I feel like it's got the right taper. That 702 that I have is just a little bit light. It'll get the job done 95% of the time. And that 703 that I got, in my opinion, is just a little bit too heavy. And that 742 is a perfect in between of both of those rods, and it gives you great casting distance. So like a lot of times as a co-angler, I'll long line a Ned rig behind the boat, I'll bomb it back behind the boat, and just drag it, and that is a great way to get bit, especially if you guys are fishing lots of open water where you need to make long casts. Fishing clear water as well, you need to make long casts to be a little bit more stealthy. That 742 is perfect. That's just a cool little terminal tackle thing that I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys want to look at more tournament content, like I said, I'm headed down to the IHSA State Championship. Definitely check out Carter with Janko Fishing on YouTube. I upload all my tournament videos, and the IHSA one is going to be up there. We actually won sectionals. That video is up. That was an awesome day. So definitely check that out if you guys want to see the tournament side of this fishing game for me. But that is a wrap for this video. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Tackle Box. Thank you for watching.